What's up everyone, it's Andrew here from Brick Breaks. How are we all doing? My first ever PSA prep for submission video today. I've been sending PSA stuff for probably nearly 2 years now, but this is the first one I've done on the channel in terms of how they submit stuff. I've been dubious about doing it. I think that there's no perfect science. This is just how I do it. People do different things. I don't think you can guarantee yourself a 10. There's certainly no way you can clean or edit cards to become a 10. Cards are what they are. Even straight off the printer, not all these cards are 10s. If they all were, then the value of a 10 would be significantly less. But yeah, let's get into how I do it. Okay, so first thing I do is pick a clean white surface. Traditionally I'll use kitchen roll. I didn't have any this time, so I've got toilet roll. Use clean as a starting point. So we've got a couple of cards we can submit here. Before we do that, I'm going to submit a few more packs. If you haven't seen that first video, check that out. Trying to keep that fairly quiet, so not mentioning it too much. I'm sending a Joe Burrow one. Plan to get one of each of the Burrow packs for my personal PC, and then we're sending some of these beauties, Zion Prisms. Been a while since I got them, back in a recent mail day, but these are going. So packs have their own grading criteria to do with kind of corners, the seal, and printing. You can check that out on the PSA website. I'll put a link for PSA grading criteria when I do this. So for packs, you just want to put them in a bag, seal it nice and tight, and then you're going to wrap it in some cardboard. Packs between each cardboard, nice and simple. So today, I'm actually going to use graded gem for my submission. Typically, I do my own stuff. However, when I send packs, it saves me a lot to use these guys. They're a lot cheaper. I'm actually going to put some gloves on, just to remove any kind of sweat residues on your fingers when you're looking at these cards. I'm also going to be using the Grademaster submissions tool. You can do a good idea with your eye, use a ruler. However, this makes it nice and simple. So this is what it is. I'll post a link in the description. But essentially what you do, nice and simple, is you match corner for corner. There we go. And then your numbers you're looking at are kind of from the black into the borders. Same again that side, so we're 3 for 3 on each side there. And we are 1 to 2, 1 to 2.5, 3 on the bottom. So you also get a nice grading guide. So 1 to 2 is 63, 64. When it's a half, you can kind of work that out. It'd be in the middle, so kind of 50s, 55, 45. I imagine this one, I'll show you why in a minute, will be a 9. But because of its value at a 9, I'm still submitting it. I don't think you can submit and guarantee anything to be a 10. The kind of way I look at things are, they are PSA 9/10s, they are PSA 8/9s, or PSA 7 or just below, and just you should be able to see that for yourself, to be honest. Grading criteria is on the website, as I mentioned. You kind of want to stick to kind of no flaws with PSA. Obviously there are other options, using Beckett, where you get the half grades. For me personally, I don't like the half grades. So you'll see here, if I can get the camera to work, this corner here is definitely not fully sharp. This is what I mean about kind of doing videos. If you're not watching this on HD, you wouldn't have a chance of seeing this. So this corner here, the focus is not playing fun games there. Okay, but the rest of the card looks really quite good. Next step for me would be to use this little device. So this is just a little, so this is when I used to do geology actually at A level. It's a little microscope. handheld, so you can check the card condition. Comes with a nice light, comes with UV as well, just to see a different kind of style of light, which can show different floors a little bit better. I don't know how well that's coming through onto the camera, probably not too well. And that's how I look at it. I do that normally twice, a first time and then a second time, just in terms of making sure what I don't miss the first time, I hopefully don't miss the second time. And you do find that you will miss things, you're only human. That's why grading isn't a guaranteed science either. They're being looked at by humans at the other end, so they can make mistakes. For paper cards, I don't really do too much prep. Certainly wouldn't use any kind of liquid, hot breath or anything. You can use the towel, put a little brush away. I would keep everything away from the corners, or you can use kind of a microfiber cloth. For paper, you shouldn't really have anything on there. If you're going to move it, do very small strokes towards the corners rather than against them. And something as simple as that is all I do. Get yourself a brand new sleeve. Pick your card up, and in it goes. So this mark here, by the way, is design, it's not just a coffee stain. What you then need, although PSA is now allowing for generic top loaders because of short demand of these stuff, you do want to get yourself some card savers, semi-rigid card holders they're called. If you do use graded gem, they offer these themselves, their own produced ones. These are the easiest things to get cards in and out of. So when you're grading, what they do is they snip the side off so they don't have to abuse the card. With a top loader, it is a little tougher to get cards in and out of. So there we go, into our top loader, away from the edges, perfect. So that's card 1 in our submission. This LeBron Marvels, I'm probably expecting a 9 from that, so we'll see. Second card. Now this one could even be an 8, to be honest. So you'll see there's several floors, and I'm almost doing this as a test to see how good my eye is. So we've got a bit of whitening here, and then when we flip it, we've also got a tiny bit of whitening just on this base corner here. Sharpness looks good, centering wise we're pretty good. Surface is really good on the front, having already checked these ones. So I'm submitting this just because, again, it's a high value card. Those LeBrons go really high from Marvels 9, Marvels 10. This jar I'm also submitting. Super short print card. I just want it in a slab for my own PC rather than kind of trying to hit a 10. When it's PC wise, you can be a bit more flex on what you're sending. Obviously, if you care only about having 10s, you need to be a lot more cautious. However, when you're doing it for picking nice cards that you want to be slabbed, you can give yourself a bit of leniency. These card graders can take a bit of time. Just be careful, do not force them in. You want to pinch the sides and very gently push down a card. Obviously you can't get chunk cards in here, so you do need to make sure you're only putting the right size card in the right size grading slab. So that's card number 2. Card number 3, and this is a Fernando Tatis, really well centered. Quickly show you that. I won't show you all the cards I'm sending. When I get to something different, I'll show you what's different. So really well centered, 2.5 either side. From the bottom, we're looking at kind of a 3 to 2.8, 2.9 at the top. So happy with that. Certainly meets the 10 grading there. I believe it's up to 55 to 45 on centering for PSA. So let's get our next one out. Card 3. Our next card is our first chrome, and I wouldn't normally suggest sending collegiate stuff early, so this is purely kind of a PC one that I'm doing it. I'd wait for guys to be more proven, so collegiate wise I'd probably only be sending guys who are already kind of big money guys. Zion, I've got money in collegiate. Mahomes is now money in collegiate, obviously. Outside of those super names, I would kind of stay clear, certainly as an investment. If it's a PC, then go right ahead. So as I mentioned, really well centered. And you can kind of tell that with your eye. So this one here, for example, you can kind of see that left to right centering is a little bit off when we check it. Certainly is. So we're looking at kind of a 3 here versus a 2 on the other side. So we are looking at fine margins. Obviously it's a 3x4 inch card. Off center is what, a mil, 2 mil. It's really not much. In terms of cleaning these cards, again I'd put the gloves on to remove fingerprints. So if I take it out of its little sleeve here, put it onto the toilet paper, our clean surface. So again, a couple of options. We can go back to the glasses cloth. We can just use the tissue paper with a bit of warm breath. So if you slightly breathe on it, again, kind of be careful, no spitting. Or these are the things that I like to use on chrome cards, and it's lens wipes, so glasses wipes. Making sure they're not overly chemical, and they're not scratch ones. So these are pretty easy to get hold of. And if I hold this card down and use this side just for wiping, again, keeping clear of kind of the corners and really edges too, to be honest. Always working back towards them. Another thing to be careful of chrome cards with is print lines. Any abrasion there. You do find with the chrome cards they do scratch very easily. So there we go, that's that card. We'll keep our wipe there for now, we'll come back for that. We'll get a new card sleeve. Into our sleeve, and then same process into a top loader. There we go, there's Jerry B. So that's 4 cards in. A couple of cards that I'm not sending for various reasons. So this is a Cody Bellinger to 100. Consider this, looks really good. Just kind of didn't make the cut this time. I would advise, it's up to you guys. I personally don't like sending more than kind of 15, 20, just in terms of the cost for me. It's a lot of money to be sat for something that probably won't be back with you at the minute for 4 or 5 months, unless you go express. So just be careful of that. Obviously it's money you won't see back for a while. Nick Bosa, a really nice card, but still just doesn't have too much value, which is upsetting for a Rookie of the Year defensive player. He is a defensive player in the NFL. That as an investment isn't working yet. I think that will go up with time if he has the career I expect him to do. But for now, that card is just not worth getting graded. It's kind of a $15, $20 card raw. PSA 9s, 30s to 40s. So you're not really making money there. And as a 10, even more, like 50, 60, it's not really huge money. Mix and sparkles, I considered. PC cards for me, they would be nice to be graded. Some of them are slightly off center, so I think I'll wait for now. Probably will do that at another time. The Robert Persons, so his base chrome, his Mojo chrome, and his sparkle to 299. Consider these, they are slightly off center, I believe. and I also think I'll wait for him to kind of have a year or two in the minors, wait for baseball to resume. He's certainly not going to play this year. Joey B elite on deck. Considered this, however, centering is pretty bad there, left to right. So that would come back pretty awful. And Shane Bieber. So really nice card, really well centered, good condition. However, I want to kind of sell this while it's hot. Probably you'll be seeing in my investment video update probably on Monday. I'll be probably looking to move these, maybe with Star Stock, maybe in the eBay, because his season is really good. I expect him to kind of win the Cy Young in the AL. So I think that card won't be with me for too much longer. Next cards we're going to be looking at. So our next ones, we'll start right at the back. We'll look at this Jason. So this guy's going crazy. And this is one I'm not actually going to grade. Apologies. The one I'm going to grade is this one. So there's a subtle difference there. First edition logo. So this is the first edition one I pulled on the channel a few weeks ago. Really well centered. And being first edition, although paper, I think this card will have some value. Probably a long-term hold, but I want to get it graded early, keep it in its best condition. In terms of condition versus getting graded immediately, if you store cards properly, like in a top loader, out away from sunlight, away from dust getting in the top, they can be totally fine for years. If you're storing in folders, I think they can be okay for sure, as long as they're kept well, again. And I think even cards on display can be fine. With time, UV will play effect, can cause some fading. So I would give cards time, certainly rookies normally. I would never normally grade kind of a first prospect card instantly. But the way this guy's card market went crazy, this is one I want to get sorted as soon as possible. He says after it's been sat with him for kind of 2-3 months. It's a really clean surface, corners look really good, and it's centered. So new card sleeve, even if it's been stored away, I just put it in a new one. You want it in its best condition. You want it with the best kind of resources available. People are humans. The better you present something, just like food, same with cards, the more likely they are to enjoy it. You give it the grade it should get. If you turn it up in kind of a scruffy box with sellotape all over it, even though it may be a PSA 10 card and its nature, you're more than likely to be kind of knocked just by that bias of unconscious bias around it. So again, not forcing this thing in. There's our Jason, hopefully PSA 10. We're now going to look at Joey B again, and an auto. So for autos, just stay well clear of the ink. With anything you use, do not go rubbing surfaces. It's just not worth the risk. Especially with stickers, I'd stay away from the stickers. The stickers can peel. But this looks really good. All the corners are very sharp. Surface looks good, no scratches. No whitening on the back. So happy with this one. Centering wise, there's not too much to center to. If we look at the reverse, we kind of have these two sidelines here and here. Centering on the back does matter, not as much as the front. You kind of have a 60-40 gradient versus a 55-45. But no, that looks good. Freeze both sides. So happy with that one. Just give it a quick kind of cloth wipe. So we do have a little mark here. I don't know if you can see on the zoom here, just a tiny little dot just here. There's one little flake that's gone off here, so that could potentially be a 9. But we're going to send it. I'd like a Joey B graded, So I imagine this comes back as 9. We do normally find with autograph cards, both on card and stickered, it's rarer to get 10s just because of the handling. If you're talking about sticker card, you've got to think someone's got to stick that sticker on there. Obviously they're doing hundreds at a time, so their kind of care and attention can wane. In terms of on-card autos, it's done by the players, so even less kind of care and knowledge around the importance of kind of looking after the cards and keeping them in their best conditions. So there's our Jury B. That's ready to go. Our next one is more Tatis. That's the X Factor. As you've seen, we've already got the Prism PSA 10, so hoping to follow up with this as an X Factor 10. Our next one, sticking with Tatis, and this is a big one, probably the most expensive card in my collection. Rainbow foil, auto, numbered to 10. I just want to get this graded. It looks beautiful in a one touch. It's going to look even better in a graded case. So it's really good foil finish. So we're just going to give it a bit of a brush. Again, staying well away from the auto. Next one is going to be Drew Lock. This guy, his stuff went crazy. Seen I've already had some of his PSA 10s. Let's hope for another one. Probably not because of this bottom corner. This is a new one to me, so a bit of card there between the tape and the top loader. Nice innovation. No sticky residue on the top. Corners don't look too bad, so I'm going to send this one. Probably in that 9 range, which was Zion lottery ticket. Still some decent money. Sticking with basketball, more of this guy. We've got a bit of damage here. I'm not sure if you're able to see that. See how the UV picks up that white spot. Just on that edge of the corner. Just a little dent there, so we're probably looking at a 9 then. Then our last two. Slight mark here. Just halfway up the red, we've got a little scratch. Probably see it better without the light actually there. So again, we're probably looking at 9. It is the back though, so sometimes you do get some leniency there. I still expect that to be kind of a 9 at most. So this is probably an 8, 9 again. But being a PC one and sitting next to the Elite Auto that hopefully should be a 9 or a 10. Not too concerned. Our last card, another X Factor. A guy who's been booming alongside Luis Robert. It is Eloy Jimenez. Happy with this one. Should be at least a 9 in my opinion. And there's our last card. So, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was useful. The next step is to get a ton of bubble wrap. Luckily with my job I normally have some given to me quite frequently. Let's just quickly run through our cards. So we are sending the Eloy Jimenez. Or one thing I should also say that I'll do off camera. When you're sending to Graded Gem, help the guys out. They are traditionally trading card Pokemon guys first of all. So it really helps them out if on each card you can get a post-it and you can write what the card is. So 2019 Topps Chrome this is just Chrome I believe. Topps doesn't make it super useful. So Topps Chrome, Eloy Jimenez, card number 202, and then this is an X Factor. And if you put those on every card, that really helps them when they complete the registration process. Obviously they won't turn them away if you don't do it, but certainly I think helping those guys out makes the process as easy and simple as possible. So there's that one. I'll do that for all the cards, and then what you'll do is take some bubble wrap and wrap it really nice and tightly. Nothing's moving. Tape it up, put it in a little box, and then that's the job done. So they're the cards we're sending. It'll take a few months probably to get these back, but as soon as I do, I'll be sure to drop a video how we did. Also sending the packs, of course, I've not mentioned that one. But their website's super easy to use. I have mentioned it before, but I'll probably drop a little link probably at the start of this video actually on what you need to do at the start. But there you go, guys. That's all I have to do today. I hope that was useful. If you have any further questions, please let me know. And good luck if you're sending stuff for grading this month. Anyway, I should have a grading return probably this week when I'm recording. This will probably be my video either Monday or next Friday. I'm super excited for that. Fingers crossed we do well. I've seen some pre-grades. I think we did okay. I think we've got some 10s in there, an expensive 10 for sure. But you have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, that's all from me. See you soon.